Hello and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing okay. As you will have seen by the title of this video, this is just me chatting through all the different makeup products that I like to use when I'm gigging or I'm doing concerts, or to be honest, if it's just a special occasion. This is basically what I do. I know that this is a little bit different from the other videos that I've been putting out there, but I did do a little poll on Instagram and the choice was for yes, do this video. So thank you so much for saying that, because I've actually really wanted to talk about these things for a while. I love makeup. I'm a bit of a makeup collector, particularly eyeshadow palettes, and although I don't actually wear a huge amount of it, I just think it can be such a wonderful creative outlet and a little bit of escape. My sort of pre-concert ritual of just sitting down and doing my makeup is something that actually I really value, and it kind of calms me down if I'm feeling a bit on edge about something, and it just gives you that little bit of chill time before you have to get to work. Before we do get into the fun and the makeup and the bit of the light relief, I do want to talk to you about something so much more important than makeup. I know that's hard to believe, I know, but my first ever violin teacher has set up a page through Just Giving called Help Musicians, and this is a donation page which was formerly known as the Musicians Benevolent Fund, which you may have heard of, and basically they are an amazing charity that look after musicians when they are in serious financial difficulty or they need some help making ends meet. There are over 52,000 working musicians in the UK at the moment, and in this climate we're all out of work. So if you could just take a second to look at the page, I will link it below, read the story, read what these guys are doing. It is absolutely amazing. And if there is anything that you can give, whether that would be the cost of a takeaway coffee that you'd normally be getting, post-gig drink, whatever it might be, anything that you can give will just go straight to helping those of us in this performing community that need it most at this time. So please pause this video, go check them out, give anything that you can, and it would just be amazing if we could really show how supportive this community are of each other when it really comes down to it. Like, these are scary times, and at the moment we don't really know when our work is going to go back to normal. So yeah, please do go check it out, donate whatever you can. If that's just £1, then that is amazing, and obviously if you can give more, that is fantastic as well. Please go check it out and be as generous as you are able, and thank you so much. Now, all of the makeup products that I'm going to be talking about today are cruelty-free, as far as I know at the time of recording. If I've made any mistakes, I am very sorry. Being cruelty-free with my makeup is something that I really started to get passionate about 2 years ago when I was trying to get together the products and the things that I wanted to wear for my wedding. And the more I looked into it, the more I realised how much animal testing still exists. To be honest, I hadn't even thought about it because in my mind it makes no sense to do. Their skin reacts completely differently to ours, and for me, you know, I'm not a vegan or anything like that, but I just think for me to put stuff on my face to make, you know, enhance my features, whatever it might be, no animal needs to suffer for that. That's just my personal view. The reason I want to say it now is because I don't want to get pushy about it as the video goes on. I don't want to state it with every product. So yeah, they're all cruelty-free as far as I know, and some of them do have parent companies that test on animals, but I would actually quite like to be showing those parent companies that their cruelty-free products are the ones that I'm buying. Yeah, this isn't trying to guilt trip you or anything like that, but it's just, I would really urge you to do some research into the area and educate yourself a little bit and just, yeah, see what you think. But that's that out of the way, preaching out of the way, let's talk about some makeup. So for me, I like to play up the eyes quite a lot when it comes to my makeup. I've always quite liked my eyes, and they're just something that I like to make a feature of. So this is probably the area where I have the most makeup and also just kind of enjoy going into it a lot. And the main eyeshadow palette that I love using for gigs and concerts is the Tati Beauty eyeshadow palette. Now, it is currently out of stock, but she has assured us that it's gonna come back in at some point in the future, and it's gonna be a permanent item. So we don't need to worry too much about it being gone forever. It's just stunningly beautiful. It's got everything you could ever need in it, and it also has the world's biggest mirror. It's absolutely huge, so you can just set yourself up in your dressing room or the green room, wherever you are, in a cafe. I've done my makeup whilst eating pizza at the same time. Like, you can do it anywhere. But I just find it's absolutely perfect if I'm doing more of a really glam look. So if you're under a lot of lights and you need something a bit more punchy, then it's got the blacks, it's got the shimmers, it's got the sparkles, it's got the glitters, but also you can just do your everyday with it. So for me, it's been great. It is, however, quite weighty. It's quite heavy. So if I'm flying, or if I am going to be doing a lot of walking around, if I'm going to be, you know, lugging things off trains and whatever, and I don't want to have a lot of weight on me, then the e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes are just fab. They are really good quality for the price. e.l.f. in general, I think, is just an amazing brand. It's just got everything you need in it. It's nothing exciting. It's not gonna blow your mind in terms of all the colours and everything, but that's not the point. You can just do a really good, solid eye look with it, and one of those two will always come with me. Now, in your makeup kit, you really only need 2 eyeliners. You need a black one, you need a brown one. It's taken me so long to find a black eyeliner that doesn't smudge everywhere. I don't know, I find it smudges at the corners of my eyes really, really easily. So as soon as I found this one, I was very, very happy. And that is, I'm actually gonna get it because I always forget the name, is the Sigma Longwear Eyeliner Pencil, and it's in the shade Wicked. And this does not budge, to the point of it being sometimes a little bit tricky to take off, but it's just amazing for lining tight line just below my eyelashes with it, and sometimes I line my waterline as well, depends how we're feeling, but this does not move. It will stay there all day if you need it to, or all evening, so this is absolutely fab. As far as liquid liners go, I really like the kind of felt tip edged ones, and for me the best one that I have tried is the Kat Von D Tattoo Eyeliner. Kat Von D has now left the brand, so if you have a bit of an issue with her, then it's just KVD Beauty, and this eyeliner is amazing because I have extremely deep set eyes, and for me, something which happens all the time is my eyeliner, if I do any, will smudge onto my brow bone. Not with this. Once it's dried down, it ain't going anywhere until you want to take it off. It's absolutely jet black. It's quite a matte dry down, which again I like, just absolutely amazing. Isn't going to go anywhere, and I've actually gone for a very, very sweaty run in this and it didn't go anywhere. So if you are somebody that tends to get a bit sweaty on stage, this will keep up. And then as far as brown eyeliner goes, I don't tend to wear brown eyeliner so much on stage. I like to go for black just because it defines things a little bit better. But my most used makeup item of all time is the Complexion brown eyeliner, just the retractable one. It's just a really, really lovely colour. It's not too reddish. It's sort of a bit more of a cool toned brown, which I quite like. And yeah, it's just lovely. It's really easy to use, stays put, doesn't smudge, really cheap, all good. Now with mascara, it has been a journey, my friends. It has been a journey, because why is it so hard to find a good mascara? Like, it baffles my mind that you can buy so many mascaras that A, do nothing at all, or B, they smudge everywhere, they flake off, the wands are rubbish. I don't understand. Okay, admittedly, quite a lot of the makeup I buy is slightly more at the high-end kind of region. It's something that I like to invest in. But for me, my absolute favourite mascara, which I have tried to find a cheaper one that works as well, I haven't been able to, so if anyone knows of one, let me know. But it's the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and it's just amazing. It smells slightly like coconuts, which I kind of like, and it's just lovely. It really gives you a really lovely volume without it being clumpy, and I use both the normal one and the waterproof version. I used the waterproof one on my wedding day and it was just brilliant. I think I touched it up once in the evening and that was literally it. It doesn't irritate my eyes in any way and it's just lovely. Now, because I am occasionally prone to high maintenance tendencies, then I actually use 2 mascaras, one for my top lashes and one for my bottom lashes. So the one I use for my bottom lashes is the Gosh mascara, and I think it's the Blown Away one. And the reason I love it is because it has like a little comb on the one side of the wand, which just makes it really easy to apply and means that you don't get mascara all over the like the under eyes. I mean, maybe nobody else has this issue, but I do, and I just find that this just completely sorts that out. Now, normally, I confess I do get my eyebrows tinted and waxed by the amazing Karis, but she's had a baby, so she's been on maternity leave for a while, and I did try somewhere else, and I didn't like it. So, side note, she's actually setting up her own business, and obviously she's not seeing clients at the moment, but when this is all over, she is going to be doing things from her home. So I'll leave the link to her business page below, and yeah, go check her out and give her some support, because she is the eyebrow wizard, and there is nobody else that I would trust to wax my eyebrows 3 days before my wedding. So yeah, she is amazing. But obviously at the moment I am not able to go see her, so I have been using the Makeup Obsession brow pomade, and I used the dark brown one. They do have a whole range of different colours, and I just find this stuff is amazing. Like, it really stays on, and because it's a pomade, it does give you the ability to kind of shape them a little bit more, which I really enjoy, and you can either make it darker or lighter. You just have a bit more control with it, and also it will last you forever. I have had my pot of it for like only a year and a half, and I'm not even halfway through it. So yeah, it's gonna last you a long time. The color is great because it doesn't have any reddish undertone to it, which again, for me, I don't want gingery eyebrows. Nothing wrong with that, but no. Now for brow setting gel, I use the e.l.f. one, and what's this one called? It's just the brow gel. Now, this does really work. However, it can get a little gross. Like, can you see that? Because the packaging is clear, that's just brow pomade. Like, that's not dirt, but it just kind of looks a little bit gross. So while it does really work, and I do really like it, I'm not 100% sure that I'll be buying this again, just because, like I said, it kind of gets a little bit gross at the bottom. So, you know, there's that. Now, as far as sort of complexion products go, I will be honest and say that I am very lucky with my skin. I have never really had any kind of acne or suffered with a lot of breakouts, so I don't like wearing really full coverage stuff, because to me, if you already have quite good skin and then you put foundation on top of it, you sort of make it look worse. So, you know, or you can very easily do that. So for me, I really enjoy the less is more look when it comes to my skin. I'm not entirely sure that primers are totally necessary. I know that some people think that they are the best thing ever. Some people think they're a total gimmick. I do find that my makeup has a tendency to stay put a little bit better if I use one. But again, because my skin is more kind of normal, leaning dry, my makeup doesn't really go anywhere anyway. But if I am going to use one, then I absolutely love the Too Faced Peachy Primer. It smells incredible, and I just find it really works, and it's just a lovely base for things to go on top of. So I tend to literally just put it on the sides of my nose, because that tends to be where I get a little bit more larger pores, and then again a little bit like under my eyes, because I'm quite a smiley person, and if I have any concealer or anything, it can sometimes crease a bit there. So I just find that a little bit of primer does help with that. And again, if you are somebody that's going to get quite sweaty on stage, a primer may well help you and just keep your makeup from sliding around. So like I already said, I am more of a light coverage kind of gal when it comes to foundation. So, and I am going to read this one out because it's the longest name in the world. And it's the Urban Decay Naked Skin Hybrid Complexion Perfector 1 and Done. It's a tinted moisturizer. It's great. Use it. It's fab. This is what I wore on my wedding day, and I loved it. I think it looked really nice all day. I had to touch it up a little bit. It was August, you know, and it was raining, so there was that. But it does stay put, and you're not going to have any problems with it sliding around or trying to run away from your face. I also find that there's a really handy trick with this product. If you tend to find that you have large pores around your nose, which for me I do, then what I get is just a tiny little bit of this on my finger and just literally like pat it in to the sides of your nose, and it just blurs out your pores in the most amazing way, but without like filling them and clogging them and feeling heavy. To look at the skin, you wouldn't know there was anything there, and for me that is the sign of a good face product. If I can see it, then it's not really doing its job anymore for me. So yeah, little handy tip. And I mean, this lasts you for absolute ages, so big fan of this one. I tend to use concealer just for spot concealing, and for me, my favorite one is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. It's just really fab. It doesn't go anywhere, and it doesn't dry out my skin either, which some concealers have a tendency to do. So really, really love it. Lasts you for ages. It's pretty packaging. It's concealer. It conceals stuff. Now for under the eyes, quite recently, I think, well, I say recently, like 6 months ago, discovered the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish. And now, obviously, Charlotte Tilbury, it's a little bit more pricey, but for me, Charlotte Tilbury is just one of my absolute favourite brands. I love it. It's all beautiful. Everyone that wears it, I just think looks amazing, and I'm a fan. But I love this product. It's so easy to use. I have it here because look at it. Just, why is the packaging so beautiful? I mean, I know I'm paying for the packaging, but it's pretty. It's really, really small, it's really compact, and again, it's so lightweight. You can't see it's there. Even if you put on a few layers of it, you still can't see it. So for me, that's been an absolute winner, because I don't like lots of heavy stuff on my skin. It just makes me feel a bit ick. So yeah, that one's been really, really lovely. Just brightens up your under eyes, particularly if you have lights coming at you from above. This happens to me a lot. Whenever I see pictures of myself on stage, I'm like, ugh, because the shadow goes over my eyes and makes me look like I have really bad under eye circles, which is annoying. So I find something like this just illuminates it a little bit and can counteract that problem. Now, this one makes me sad because the bronzer I have been using up until this point was the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I adore it. It's a beautiful colour, it smells incredible, packaging's really bulky, we can forgive that. But I've recently discovered that Physicians Formula is no longer cruelty-free, which makes me really, really sad, and I'm going to keep kind of reading up on the situation, and hopefully they will go back to being cruelty-free, but at the moment they are not a cruelty-free brand and cannot be considered as one. So yeah, so that makes me really, really sad. So the bronzer that I have started using is one that I'm going to talk about later because it's an honourable mention, because I only got it 2 weeks ago. Same thing with blush. I'm afraid I have up until this point been using a Benefit blush, which I love, but again, Benefit is not a cruelty-free brand, so I'm gonna use it up. But obviously, don't, like, if you are thinking of making the switch to cruelty-free products, don't just throw away all your makeup, because that's just a waste. Use what you've got and then replace it with a cruelty-free option if that's what you decide to do. Again, the blush I've been using more recently is something, well, I mean, I haven't used it for a concert yet, which is why it is not in this video specifically, but I am going to mention it at the end. So for powder, this is something which I do think is important. When you are on stage, if you're getting hot, particularly if you're under a lot of lights, it is boiling on that stage. So powder can be a really, really good one if you don't kind of want to look like you're sweating your face off, because we are most of the time. And I have two favourites here, but one is definitely a lot more travel friendly. The first one is in the Peachy collection of Too Faced, and it's their Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder, I believe. Yes, yes, yes. And it is a beautiful powder, but it's big, it's chunky, and it's not that travel friendly really. Plus, I would recommend that you steer away from loose powders if you tend to get ready once you've already dressed in your concert blacks, because you do not want to get like a light coloured powder all over your lovely black dress. So I do love this one, and when I am not traveling particularly far, or maybe I've driven there so I don't mind about carrying a lot of stuff, then I do love this one. But if I am traveling, and the majority of the time I am for gigs, then I absolutely love the CYO Meet Your Matte Pressed Powder. This stuff is incredible. Not only is it ridiculously cheap, it is so finely milled that you can add layers of this stuff. So, you know, you can put it on, you can top it up in the interval, you can keep adding, and it will never look cakey. It also has the best mirror that I have ever seen in a compact, ever, because it's literally the whole, you see, like, there you are, hello. You can see the whole thing is a mirror, and it's just fab. It's quite small, it's very light, and this has just been my absolute go-to. Again, I've been using this for a couple of years now, and it lasts really well. It does a great job, and win. Now, Full confession, I don't really like highlighter. Now, before you come for me, I do have a reason. I just really think that it looks natural. Now, you may not be going for a natural look, and if you're going on a big night out or something, absolutely, you know, we want to go for it. But day to day, and particularly on stage, I tend to find highlighter can just sort of, it can catch people's eye in a slightly, you know, strange way if it's too much. And also, I just find it can tend to make you look a little bit sweaty, which, if that's what you're going for, then go for your life. But I don't really want to look like I'm sweating on stage. So I tend not to go too near highlighter as a general rule. Personal preference, if you love it, go for it. Now, in everyday life, I'm not a massive lipstick wearer. I sort of just get really paranoid that it's on my teeth and that I've, you know, smudged it everywhere and whatever. But when you're on stage, I do think it looks really effective to have something on. So my absolute favourite is the Charlotte Tilbury Bond Girl lipstick. And it's the one I've got on now. I really, really like it. I think it goes really well with my skin tone. It makes my eyes look bluer. I just think, for me, it's just a pretty perfect shade. And also, because of the shape of the tip of it, you don't really need a lip liner with it, which makes it really, really quick to put on, because otherwise lipstick can be a bit of a faff, and if you're getting ready in a bit of a rush, then you don't want to be, you know, faffing around with it too much. So for me, it's just a really easy swipe it on, go, job done. And once it dries down, it really doesn't budge, so it will last you the whole gig, the whole concert, and you don't have to worry about it too much. Now, I do have a little honourable mentions category, because everything I've spoken about up until now has been stuff that I have used at multiple gigs, multiple concerts. I've travelled with it. They are my absolute ride or dies, and they're just stuff that I can recommend and feel very secure in doing so. But I did have something arrive a couple of weeks ago, and we all know your girl hasn't done any gigs since then, which is sad, but it's gonna be fine. And that is the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look in a Palette, and I've got this one in the Gorgeous Glowing Beauty. Now, I mean, look at this packaging. It is just beautiful. And now I've been saving up for a little while for this one, because obviously it is a bit more pricey. Nearly dropped it. That would have been bad. But it's just so beautiful, and it makes me so happy, and it just has everything you need in it for basically a full face. Now, this powder, I will say, is a little bit more of a highlight than it is a face powder, so that for me was a little bit of a shame. But to be honest, it's a really lovely, lovely, just illuminating powder. So I tend to use it, or I have been using it, just in like the brow bone and maybe a little bit on tops of the cheeks, and just to kind of give you a little bit of a glow without being highlightery. But it is, this bronzer is the bronzer that I was talking about earlier, and it is just beautiful, perfect shade for me. And yeah, massive, massive mirror. This will be coming with me when we get back to normal and gigging life resumes. This will be coming with me and will supplant, you know, a few other products, because it does have eyeshadows in it as well along the top here, and so I probably will be using this a lot. Just a little disclaimer, because if anybody that I work with watches this, you're probably going to see this rather than some of the other stuff. So obviously the major attraction with this palette was that if you're traveling, you just have to take this rather than 4 different items. So for me, that was the massive pull, plus previously stated, self-confessed Charlotte Tilbury junkie. So I hope you enjoyed this slightly different video. I appreciate it may have been quite long, so thank you for sticking with me, but I hope you enjoyed it. All of these products are just ones that I really enjoy using and I look forward to using. For me, doing my makeup is just something that's, it's fun, it's relaxing, and don't take it too seriously, but at the same time, you do need products that are gonna hold up and work under pressure, and yeah, you want to look your best on stage. I think that's perfectly natural. So I really hope that you have enjoyed it. I will link everything that I've talked about today below, and none of them are affiliate links, none of this is sponsored, nothing like that. They're just the things that I really enjoy using. And like I said at the beginning, please do check out the Help Musicians page. It's just the most amazing cause. You know, as a musician working in this country, it's so nice to know that we're getting behind each other and we're supporting each other. And if there's anything that you can give, if you know anyone who is a musician and is struggling at the moment, then A, reach out to them, B, support them directly if you can, but if not, then just, yeah, donate to this cause and they will make sure that it gets to the people that need it most. So I will see you guys next week in my next video, and yeah, have a good one. Enjoy the sunshine on your one outing a day, and yeah, we'll get through this and we can get back to normal very soon, I hope. So yeah, see you soon guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Now, because I am occasionally prone to high maintenance tendencies, that went well. The Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look in a Palace, Oh, could do with a palace.